What is the number one quality that makes you a really amazing coach? That is what I'm going to talk about in this week's video. I know as coaches, we always want to be the best coach possible, and this is super important so that we can help our clients get the best results. And the thing that really makes you a good coach is not being judgmental, okay? The number one most important thing. And I'm going to talk about why this is so important. And first of all, let's do a little check-in. So how do you know if you are judgmental? A good way to know is if you are judgmental of yourself, meaning are you critical of yourself? Are you judging yourself based off of your decisions and where you are in life and what you've accomplished and thinking I'm not good enough, those things? Because if you are judgmental of yourself, you are often judgmental of others. I don't know if it's often, it might be you are judgmental of others. It's just the way it is, it works. Like judgment is just like an energy that we put out there. And so if we're judgmental of ourselves, we're also judgmental of others. Just the way it works, okay? So check in with yourself and be like, am I judgmental? If you are, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's something you want to become aware of so that you can shift it, because doing this will make you a more amazing coach and a happier person as well, okay? So the other thing as far as checking with judgment is, do you judge people or think other people are wrong because of things like religion, political views, health views, all those different things that a lot of times are very kind of heated for people. If you're judgmental around those things and you think I'm right, like why doesn't this person believe what I believe, or why don't they do what I do? That's judgmental, okay? So just check in with yourself and check in like, do I have some judgmental behaviors or thoughts, so that and I'm going to talk about like just understanding this and how you can shift this for you so that you can let go of that energy and be an open, really good coach for your clients, because letting go of this judgment is going to allow you to coach people in a more powerful way, okay? And this came up recently when I was talking to some of my clients, and it's something that comes up with our clients, even though we don't really realize it, like this judging piece. And it's just coming up in the collectives of society right now a lot too, with everything that we're going through with the pandemic and the options that we have as far as, what we do around vaccines and how we're handling everything. And I think it's such a good practice for us to really understand that there's no right view or no right way or right choice, and that everyone's coming from their own perspective as far as what is best for them, okay? And so a really good thing, like collectively, for us to understand right now with what's going on in the world, but also just in so many different areas where people get really heated and they think I'm right, you're wrong. And, this is just one of the things that really keeps you from being a good coach if you are someone who is judgmental. And like I said, that you might really experience it around yourself or around others. And I'm going to talk about how that shows up. So first of all, if you're judgmental of yourself, it's going to have a huge impact on your coaching and your ability to be a good coach, because you're not going to be able to show up authentically and be fully present with your client. Because instead of doing that, you're thinking, am I doing it right? Am I coaching right? Am I doing it good enough? What if I don't know what to say? Am I saying the right thing? What if my client doesn't get good results? What if she's not enjoying working with me? All these thoughts, which are like judgments of you and your coaching, are keeping you from being fully present with your client. And you can't be a really good coach when your brain is not even present with your client and listening to what they're saying and being fully with them in that moment. Instead, you're up in your head thinking all these thoughts about, am I good enough? Am I doing it right enough? I'm not being a good coach. The session isn't going well. Blah, 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 right? Like our head likes to do that. but you want to be really aware of this. That's really like that ego voice speaking to you versus just trusting, showing up and trusting that I am a good coach. I'm fully present with my client. I can help them get amazing results. And just being with your client in that present way. Okay, so check in with yourself and see, is that something I'm doing? Am I being really judgmental of myself when I'm coaching? And how is that keeping me from being fully present with my client? Okay, so one way you can see how it's showing up. The second piece is being judgmental of others, right? And for a lot of us as coaches, we don't really realize that we are doing it, but a lot of times we are. And it can show up in kind of tricky ways in our coaching. So this really comes from thinking like things like this, like this client should be trying harder. They should be getting better results. They should be showing up and doing these things. They should be following through on the homework assignments I'm giving them. They should be emailing me back. All these should be's, okay? And the truth is that your client is hiring you to help them achieve the results that they want to achieve. They're hiring you to help them achieve their goals. So as a coach, a lot of times we want them to do certain things. We want them to show up a certain way. We want them to be getting certain results, and we take it personally when they don't, right? And the problem with this is actually coming from judgment. And really, we want to be coming from this place of love and supporting our clients and helping them get the results that they want, not the results that you want them to get. Okay, that's really, really important. Something to keep in mind, because that is what your job is as a coach, to help your client get the results that they want to achieve. Okay. And so I just want to give a little example. I had a client who was saying, I'm sending he's sending his clients homework to be doing, or emails of handouts and things like that. And that client isn't responding back. And we really had to check in and see, is this coming from a place of really wanting to support your client and helping them get the results that your client wants, or from a place of really the ego and being like, I sent you an email, you should be responding back, and judging your client because they didn't and wanting them to act in a certain way. Okay, so a really good way to check in. And I think sometimes this can be a little confusing, but just working on continuing to release this judgment will allow you to be a better, more open, more loving coach. And it's really a place of coming from a place, or really a matter of coming from a place of love, right? So we can be right and choose to be right. I'm right. This person should be responding to me. This person should be answering these emails. They should be doing this. Or we can come from a place of love. And the thing is, when you come from a place of love, it still means that you can call your clients out on the things that are keeping them stuck and keeping them from reaching the goals that they want to reach, right? So if your client is never following through and doing the things they want, but they're like, I wanted to lose 10 pounds, and they're not doing it because they're never doing their homework, or, eating well, doing the exercise, whatever it is that you decided they were going to do together. You decide together what they're going to do. Then you want to bring it up to them and ask them, why aren't you doing these things? Because it's keeping you from reaching your goal. So you can give some people some tough love, but it's coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of, I want you to do these certain things because you're going to get certain results, and then I'm going to feel better about myself as a coach. Okay? Really, really pay attention to this, because it's a little tricky. Makes a huge difference. Okay? So the other piece, of course, is you can put boundaries in place, right? So if clients aren't following through or doing the things, you could put boundaries in place as far as, maybe that's not an ideal client for you, and you learn from that as far as working in the future and stuff like that too. But really become aware of what's going on here. Is this something around judgment and me wanting my client to act in a certain way or believe certain things, do certain things? Or am I coming from a place of love, of wanting to support my client and helping them get the results that they want to get, okay? Super, super powerful. And the same thing comes with your own stuff, right? When it comes to judgment around yourself. Come from a place of love and think about how you talk to yourself, how you would speak to someone else, right? So let's say you were coaching another coach who was working with people and they didn't know what to say, or they said the wrong thing. Would you be like, you stupid idiot, like you should know what to say? Or, you didn't follow through on what you wanted to eat, like, or you've gained a little weight, like you have no self-control. Like, think about, like, this goes both ways, like how you would speak to someone else about that too, right? You'd be loving, you'd be supportive. And so really pay attention to how you're thinking about yourself and speaking to yourself. And also, are you judging other people and thinking that they should act in a certain way when it comes to your coaching because you want to feel a certain way based off of their actions, okay? Let me know if this makes sense to you in the comments below, because if you let go of this judgment, it's going to make you a super, super powerful coach. It's really, really a huge key. And a lot of times we aren't even aware of how judgmental we're being of ourselves and of others. And it's just something I'm always continuing to work with as well, because it's just like human nature, like to be judgmental, right? And so the more you can become aware of it, the more you can let go of it and be open and be that really open space to be a really good coach to other people and to yourself, okay? So I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway from today's video. Let me know in the comments below. And I have a free new training coming up where I'm going to be talking about the steps to really boost your confidence as a new coach and get your first or next paying clients. So if you're interested in joining me for that, there's a link right below this video. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. And thank you for joining me in this week's video, and I will see you next time.